Hello. Hi, Mati. Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Adam.
We were requested by the team to analyze today the domain of vroomly.com. So basically, me and Mati, we've spent like half an hour analyzing this domain, and we've prepared a one-pager in our methodology, and we basically noticed quite a lot of interesting things that is going on with that domain, that the main issues that we found. So I think it was requested um, by the team from Vroomly, and I think that our team reached out and asked. They offered to prepare basically a speculation from our side what could be the issues or that CMO faces inside of that company in the first, let's say, in the second quarter of their of how long the CMO is in that company. So I think her name is Karen, and that she replied to the email from our team. So yeah, Vroomly, and it's a case of a marketplace of mechanics in France. So we've had experience, me and Mati, in the past with actually a similar case, but from a Polish market. It's called Dobry Mechanik, goodmechanic.pl, and we all noticed that this industry is basically facing a breakdown in terms of the traffic coming from Google. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure that it's just Google and it's just Gemini and ChatGPT influencing the traffic here. There must be something more going on, because the first thing we noticed is that ad.fr is actually increasing while some other competitors are like stagnant, and vroomly.com is basically declining really fast. And we also checked other, like this Polish market brand and some other brands, and we noticed that in most of the countries there is a huge decline, probably because of ChatGPT and Gemini. But this ad FR is just really surprised us that they found a way to continue growing while even there is so much going on out there. Matthew, you want to add something, or?
Yeah, sure. We see a lot of, let's say, points that can, let's say, show us that it's something that the competitors do something good. So we can call it that the thing that we would like to suggest is something like reverse engineering, because in my opinion, from the technical perspective and basis on my experience also on other projects, not only on Dobry Mechanik, the projects like that and the domains like that, it's all about being the search engine itself. So they're trying to, let's say, imitate the search engine, just like being a Google. So the domains like that need to be kind of, let's say, ready framework, right? Where all the things, all the stuff is done inside, right? And yeah, it just imitate the proper search engine. So it's like the search engine, but in the case of the domain. So in my opinion, it's all about it's all about the technical stuff. And so basis on the reverse engineering and all the stuff that the competitors probably do well, I think we can find a lot of, let's say, directions and a lot of stuff that competitors did, and we can also use in
Yeah,
terms of delivery.
I think that this is the biggest point that we found is in like half an hour of just analyzing what's going on in this industry. Like, we don't see too much, and but definitely the next thing we would do, we would invest quite a lot of time in reverse engineering and really learning what this competitor is doing well, that from nothing, from being like a very small competitor, they just continue growing. One more thing that we often check that we found really correlated with how well the brand is doing is basically brand, and how strong is the brand. We are talking about the brand in terms of like how often do they search for the name of the company, because this means that, okay, you had a lot of traffic in the past and high positions, so a lot of new users were discovering your domain, and you had pretty high positions, and a lot of people were visiting your pages. But while they visit your page and they read your blog posts or whatever content you produced, did they truly become your customers? And they started to return and they return and they return, because they find the user experience, the value that they give really superior to all the other competitors. And and even like we've analyzed quite a lot of few brands in the US and globally in the past, that we've seen that there are companies that lost a lot of traffic, but the brand traffic is just continuing climbing up. Unfortunately, we have bad news for you. That's what we are seeing is that, you know, the other competitors' brands basically didn't experience such a, you know, strong shakedown. And but you are like, since there are less and less new customers visiting your page, there are less and less people who are who continue to come back using your brand keywords. So that's a really worrying factor here. And yeah, and also like what type of keywords, what type of, you know, intent got the hit the most. It was informational intent from what I really see here. Did you notice anything else, Matti, while analyzing the domain?
Not maybe not anything else, but I will tell something about the intents, because we can see that if it comes to the intents, every intent was hit. So maybe
Okay,
it's
all
a
of them.
lot of data, maybe not. I think if it comes to the brand and if it comes to the intents, we should do some step backs and see what happens. What happens to the brand, and what happens to the intent, to to check the history. So maybe to this reverse engineering, we would add some step backs if it comes to the history of this domain, and maybe history of this business, because maybe it was some changes connected with the business directly, maybe not with the SEO or organic stuff. But yeah, I think some step backs would be helpful if it comes to that.
Okay, just stepping back and understanding what happened basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I absolutely think that should be the part of this reverse engineering step that we absolutely recommend. And I think that we could move on to the next one. And the next one is more of a thing that I've noticed as a big opportunity to basically diversify from content and SEO only. I think that the brands that try to help users, and I think that companies like Vroomly or this Mechanic, Good Mechanics, marketplaces like that, the goal of these pages is basically to organize information and also help user, right? So basically you provide a plate of your car, then you have some information about the car, then you location, and you try to show them and solve the problems. The problem usually is not like I'm looking for a mechanic, that's the first problem, but sometimes it's more nuanced. Like I don't know what kind of, like, what's going on with the car. And then the next step is, oh, then I know what's going on with the car, and then I know to which mechanic I should go, and which mechanic actually has the specialty in the problem I'm having, right? So what's one way to fight back if the first issue is really truly related to SEO, to AI impact, because it might be not. As you said, if you reverse engineer, if you step back, if you analyze the situation, maybe it's not that, because there are brands that are growing, so maybe it's not AI. But still, I think that it makes sense to prepare for the next thing coming after AI. And the next thing coming after AI is apps in ChatGPT and also Gemini in the future, probably. So basically it's gonna be a marketplace for brands. So as you can see here, maybe it's not going to be a user intent. It's going to be more of a hey, I'm looking for a problem. I'm having a problem with a car in my ChatGPT or my Gemini, and then it will give you, it will, like, as you can see, it's gonna use apps that are related to their problem, and there will be a methodology like in Google in the past to be able to find apps inside of ChatGPT. And I know that it feels far away from what you are doing today, but I think that you should probably build at least some tests in that direction. And we actually offered the Autodoc, which is a huge car repair based company. When they have a problem, they have a lot of content, they have a lot of traffic, and basically a lot of traffic that they get in one cluster we identify in conversation with them was car repair cost calculator. So that's something that we also started doing. We started to build mini apps like this one, and this is just a prototype, but basically you identify some kind of problem, some kind of, you know, specific type of repair, you calculate and you get some kind of answer. And this is what Autodoc sells parts, right? So they want to enhance user experience by basically giving user estimator how much will probably fixing your car cost, because they have access to the cost of the parts. They know more or less how much the service cost. This is labor cost, parts cost, and this is what they, instead of giving them a block of text on the blog post, they are considering building mini widgets on the page so that the user could have a superior experience, superior to ChatGPT. Because in ChatGPT, people don't know what kind of question they should ask, and these are the small apps that could be potentially discoverable inside of ChatGPT in the future. So this is a direction that we are discovering in our team. So that's something we could also offer an audit. What kind of mini apps, interactive apps we could build for your content, so that in the future it's going to be discoverable inside of ChatGPT or Gemini. So then the next one is our assumption, is pure speculation. Probably in the beginning of a CMO journey in a new brand, the problem is related to we are spending money on paid media, and a lot goes to brand or retargeting. We believe that having holdout tests is a way to go. Not stop spending and having a geo split to, let's say, 2 regions in France, running 2 weeks or 4 weeks test, isolating retargeting and branded search to see actually how the traffic on the page will be impacted, and overall numbers of the business will be impacted, so that you could truly know how incremental, how important paid traffic is. Then I would say dashboards. A lot of brands that we work with, they don't track customer acquisition costs properly, and they don't know how long it takes to pay back the paid media or paid search or organic even investments in SEO. And we offer building such dashboards so that you could know that 1,000 users or 5,000 users, new users that you acquired this month, taking into account all of the investments in marketing, SEO, paid media, how long does it take to pay that period back? So that's another one that we believe that could be an important thing, and that brands often don't have it organized well. CRM saturation, basically sending emails and SMS too much too often, and the brand and basically that's the saturation is too high and users stop engaging with the brand, and it might actually hurt brand. It's worth checking that. Creating creative fatigue, having and running the same retargeting creative is the same thing. Like, I know that you rely heavily on SEO and maybe paid search, but retargeting is also an important thing to basically stay in touch with the users, and the same as SMS, emails, and so on. So these are more or less the things. One more thing that I would add is having a forecast band accuracy. So basically having some kind of methodology to forecast. We often recommend having Google Trends, basically, and basically trying to know, to expect what's going on long term with specific category. Is the category going up or down? Was the seasonality week by week, and spending money when you have a peak? So that's actually important. And in your case, a car doesn't, cars breaking don't have seasonality, but that's something that came to my mind, because based on that historical demand, you could try to, and also your business trend, is your business trending up or down, and can you more or less try to forecast what's going to be the result for the whole year, next quarter, next 2 quarters, and have like base, worst, optimal scenarios, so that you could talk with the board and basically give them some kind of feeling of control, that you know what's ahead, and how far off the business will land. And that's it. This is one pager based on what you requested. These are the things that we see. Maybe one more thing, Matti. I think that you've pasted that chart, and I think it's related to to large language models, right? Or is it something else?
That's correct. That's connected with the large language models and the visibility in, let's say, AI overview, the chatbots, any chatbots that we currently have on the market. So you can see that maybe you see some competitors of you. So for example, Allo Garage, AD.fr, and basically users now, if it comes to the web, they don't look for the answers only in the, let's say, traditional Google search. They also of course they also look in the chatbots, and probably they trying to ask what is the best, for example, what is the best mechanic in the Paris. And just like I said before, sites like yours and your competitors is kind of the search engines, and it's kind of authority for the large language models. So you need to imitate, you need to be the authority, and you need to imitate, you need to be the authority to be visible there, because there are also the users that you can let's say that you can direct the answers to.
So what does this table say? Does it say that the it's not being used as a citation and
Yeah, if
instead
it
of
comes to the
chatbots?
citation, basically we prepared. I've prepared something like, let's say, 10 prompts. Like for example, what is the best mechanic in Paris that do something? I generate a couple of prompts to the tool, and this tool, basis on those prompts, it put those prompts into the chatbots, and basis on the output that we get, we count all the citations, all the, let's say, all the usage that large language models did if it comes to those prompts. So as you can see, we don't see the Roomly. We
So
see
you
other.
checked. Okay, so this software. So basically, it's an audit for large language models.
Yeah, exactly.
How well your domain is optimized for LLMs.
Only in terms of the visibility. It's not the technical audit or something like that. We can prepare something like that, and I recommend to do something like that to see if you are ready for that. But if it comes to this screenshot, it's only the visibility that we see. If it comes to, let's say, asking the chatbots about the common questions, if it comes to the users that's looking for the mechanic services.
So I've added also the recommendation
Yeah,
to
yeah,
run
cool.
a large language model visibility and technical audit.
Yeah,
And maybe one more thing, this is a tool that we developed, basically interactive widgets. That's something in the second point, and these are some of the ideas it recommended, and also it analyzed the clusters of your blog. So basically, some blog posts, what's the monthly volume traffic or the visibility of these domains. So basically, you're getting like at least 40, 30, 10K of traffic. I'm not sure. This is probably no. These are not clicks, but this is just estimated volume of searches related to this blog post that you have some visibility for. And basically, people ask in ChatGPT right now, and you have content related to keywords like that. Tension in your tires, and they want to be able to check some things like that. And we think that we have this thesis that if you build apps like that and then you place them on these pages, the tire repair, replace advisor, personalized maintenance, schedule planner, people could have easy and fast answers and personalized answers inside of these mini widgets. It's going to be also possible to deploy them inside of ChatGPT. This is the first step, and this is the second step, and then you try to make your business AI resistant, basically, or try to compete with ChatGPT to some extent, because ChatGPT and Gemini, at least so far, is it hallucinates, it's deterministic, and inside of these small widgets, it's going to be possible to have more of it's going to be human validated. You will be able to validate how it works, and it doesn't take up your IT resources. It's all produced by our team. So that's something that is also that's what I wanted to add related to this second point. That's also an opportunity we see. So yeah, I hope that we answered the question. I mean, related to like the growth roadmap and what's ahead. What are the probably what are the challenges of the CMO in Vroomly.com? In case you would like to meet and maybe move on to the next steps, we would be happy to help. And yeah, hopefully see you. Right, Matti, you want to add
yeah.
something?
No, hopefully see you too.
Okay, thanks a lot, and see you. Bye. Take care.
Bye bye.